walking potato sack. Better than nothing. Gathering my courage, I shook my hands and straightened myself before exiting towards the kitchen. A savory scent filled my nose. Michael did mention dinner was almost done. As I entered, I saw Michael by the stove, idly stirring something crimson in a pot, humming quietly to himself. His content smile widened as he saw me, ears flicking. I tried not to look uneasy as he looked at me up and down. How do they fit? Really loving the different angles they're giving us. They're alright. Much too big for me. He nodded, turning back to the pot. I can see that. Right. His mouth faltered as he picked up on the wariness in my tone. Is everything alright? His eyes held a sense of worry, his shoulders tensing. I can get you something else to wear if you like. There's no need. He paused, and gripping onto the ladle tightly as he continued to hesitate. In. There's another pause before before his brows furrowed. I'm not an idiot. You don't trust me, do you? I flinched. Michael looked hurt as he sighed. So I'm right. His ears flicked by the sides of his head as he turned back towards the stove. Can I just know why? His eyes were sad as he stared at the pot. Oh my god, did I choose the wrong option? As if he'd been in this situation before. I thought I did everything right. Truthfully, I didn't expect a direct confrontation. There's a lump in my throat as my fist clenched at my sides. I just... The kettle started whistling, but he was clearly ignoring it. I swallowed my growing anxiety and decided to be upfront. Just didn't expect to be here again. It felt like the wrong thing to say when Michael's frown deepened. Oh no, I definitely chose the wrong thing. Shimata. I should have saved. Oh my god. I am so bad at like saving. But it's okay. It's okay. Okay. I didn't mean it like that. How else could you possibly be meaning it? Oh, he's angry at me. Why are you mad at me? Another deep sigh slipped out of him as he reached the kettle off the stove, mumbling to himself. I was hoping you'd be different. What was I thinking? Oh, he's done this to someone else before. See? Nothing. Michael, His forlorn expression made my words feel thick on my tongue, forcing me to reluctantly swallow back down. His forlorn expression made my words feel thick on my tongue, forcing me to reluctantly swallow them back down. Any trace of suspicion I had faded and was replaced with a feeling of guilt. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd be home by now. I know. I'm sorry too. His gaze towards me, eyes full of regret. But is it really so bad, Yin? I know being lost in the woods with a man you don't know can be scary. But I promise you're safe. That's the last thing I ever want. The last thing I ever want you to be is scared. He trailed off. So just trust me, okay? Can you do that, please? I swallowed and gave him a nod. My gut still roiled with suspicion. Every fiber of my being wary of him to a certain extent. He seemed satisfied though, eager to move past the tension. Thank you. His mouth quivered at the edges, all four of his eyes squinting with the slightest bit of hope. Please let it be different for once. Why don't you take the seat, Firefly? I'll be right with you. He was already turning his back towards me to start preparing the tea. I slowly approached him. Hey, let me help this time. Michael startled, surprised to see me beside him. Oh, sure. Could you get some bowls ready? We're having tomato soup. Oh, do you want some grilled cheese with yours or do you prefer garlic bread? I like grilled cheese. Got it. I brushed past him, feeling his tail linger at by my ankle, as I grabbed the bowls and spoons from the bottom shelf. He started preparing the sides, the smell of toasted bread filling the kitchen and mingling with the soups. I took over preparing the tea. Finally, I ladled the soup from the pot into a larger bowl as Michael finished flipping the last piece. We settled in for a nice hot dinner. Regardless of how I felt about tomato soup, Michael's turned out rich and creamy with a amazing balance of sour and sweet. Oh, I am hungry for some tomato soup. Dipping in the bite-sized grilled cheese sandwiches made it taste like pure savory comfort, crisp and gooey. Even if I had nothing, even if I never had it as a kid, it still made me feel nostalgic somehow. There's a feeling of stilted awkwardness, but the food helped ease us into a warmer, lighthearted conversation. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I refilled my bowl, Michael watching me as he, with his chin propped in his hand. His own bowl sat empty. Apparently, he already has his fill. Is tomato soup your favorite? His question was innocent, though his eyes were observing me as I carefully shrugged. I think I love anything you cook. He stilled, taking a second to process what I said. Oh, well, thank you. No, thank you. Usually I get takeout or microwave dinner. Nothing beats home cooked food. What's a microwave? I snickered and tried to explain the best I can. A metal box that heats up food? That sounds like... What's the word in those fantasy books? Magic? Am I using that word right? I laughed lightly. Sometimes science is just like that. We talked about other kitchen appliances off the top of my head, slowly branching out to other human inventions. He seemed to be more interested. I never understood how technology worked. I pulled out my phone and let him fiddle with it, though with a battery dead, there's not much I could show. He was clearly disappointed. It's about as useful as a brick. For now. Otherwise, I'd have a whole network of information in my hands. His eyes lit up. Like a library? And you can access it anytime as long as the battery is still alive? As long as I have internet connection? Right. Internet. I didn't know you could do that. I used to see people staring at them all the time. It seemed boring. Wow. Now that he's put into perspective, yeah. It does feel a bit weird. Like if aliens came to our planet and they just see everyone staring into a brick. I can see why it looks boring. He looked at my phone again. A look of wonder on his face. Having a whole library in your hands. Everyone must be really smart then. Oh, Michael. About that. Well, not everyone uses it like a library. More like a messaging hub. Or a source of content consumption. His eyes, oh my gosh. His ear flicked as he stared at me with a blank smile. Consumption? You can eat it? Yeah, he has no clue what I'm talking about. How do I explain to him with the very concept of Web 2.0? I don't think I'll be successful in explaining this, but I cleared my throat, deciding I simply won't. Yeah, good choice. Maybe I can show you what I mean someday. His eyes brightened, seeming to like that idea a lot. You mean that? I can have some? Yeah. I think it's about time you start getting a little modern around here, no offense. Imagine what you can do with a generator. His smile widened just a tad, though there's still a cluelessness in his face that was a little endearing. Generator? I laughed and reached across to pat his hand, a gesture that made his smile wobble. Like I said, I'll show you someday. Hmm? A loud thwack sounded against the floorboards, followed by a rhythmic thudding. Leaning over, I could see his tail waving back and forth, the tip of it slapping against the floor almost comically. Michael looked flustered as he laughed softly, pulling his hand back to rub his neck. Sorry. He looked like he had more to say, but exhaled heavily, gathering himself before tilting his chin towards my empty bowl. Are you done? I nodded as he stood and collected our dirty dishes, heading towards the sink to wash them. I followed close behind, carrying the mugs. We made quick work. We made quick work of the dishes, heading back to the living room to relax. Michael headed to his basket of knitting materials, his movements routine. I wasn't sure what to do with myself. Now that the food was no longer a distraction, I felt uneasy again, glancing around the room and staring at the window. Michael was eyeing me as he grabbed the stool and dragged it towards the center of the room. There's something outside? His question sounded innocent, but I had a sense of wariness to it. I shook my head quickly. No, nothing else. Just something catches my eye from underneath the bed, glinting like a knife. Tilting my head lower, I could see it was a tin container the size of a shoebox. What's that? Michael looked up. Hmm? Under your bed. A panicked look came across his face. That thing? Just some emergency supply. Yeah, nothing too special. I had an inkling he was being dishonest again, but I figured I'd leave it for another day. Oh, that is gonna bite us later? I can feel it. Well, people who make like podcasts and audiobooks talk a lot, and I am simply amazed by how much they can talk without like taking a break or messing up words. I see. Michael watched me for a moment or two before clearing his throat. Hey, Firefly. Hmm? I've been meaning to ask. Do you remember what you said at the river? The river? Oh, where I tripped. I pursed my lips in thought. Not really. Everything feels fuzzy to me. He seemed disappointed. Oh, not even a little? I shook my head. Why, did I say something stupid? Just something. It made me happy. Oh god, I think I did say something stupid. Before I could ask about it, he already gestured towards the bed. Well, you should get some sleep, Firefly. Want to wake up nice and early to find Nemo, right? The idea of looking off my cat. Oh. The idea of looking for my cat once more made me wilt. You really think we find him? Michael looked on edge, pocketing his hand. It doesn't hurt to try, but it does hurt to hope. His face twitched. Well, his ears flattened as he thought of something to say, clearly struggling. He finally opened his mouth to respond, his words slow and careful. I'm here for you. Thank you, Michael. He nodded, a strange mixture of polite happiness and hidden anxiety playing across his face. He's probably not used to another person sticking around this long, let alone someone going through a loss he could care less about. Maybe I've been enough of a burden to him. Actually, can you just send me home? His brows raised, his posture straightening in surprise. Are you sure? But what about Mimo? Don't you want to see if we can find him? I'm sure. A look of apprehension crossed his face. But it's so soon. Mimo could be out. Michael, please. I can't think about him right now. I just want to go home. He fidgeted with the sleeves of his cardigan. But he looked like he had so much more to say. But whatever turmoil is going on in his head